Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Stanley plus Starbucks. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is we combine the two characters. So I definitely want to take the bear from Stanley, but maybe give him two tails, just like the Starbucks girl has, and kind of play around with where I want them to live. Like one can go over here, one can go over here. And then they are both wearing crowns, so I think I'll just add a star to his crown. So I'm gonna start by erasing the name on Stanley first and foremost, and make the bear that color, green. Now we need to get rid of the existing tail as well as these back legs. And I'm gonna roughly sketch in where I want the tail to go. So I think I want like one to come up maybe over here, and then one to go kind of on this side of the bear. All right, so this is what I have so far. And now I need to go in and add in all of the little scale details. All right, I wasn't planning on it, but I think we have to give her some wavy strands of hair. Okay, and the last thing we're gonna do to the icon itself is add a star on the crown. Lastly, I did find the exact font Stanley uses, so I'm gonna go ahead and type out Stanbucks, and here is the final result.
Honestly, this one was so much fun to make up this kind of mythological mashed up creature, and I think it looks pretty cool together. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, we're gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have 7-Up plus 20th Century Studios. Okay, let's go.
All right, these weirdly have some similar elements with the kind of shadow effect going back. So what I'm thinking is taking the number, well, this whole kind of 7-Up part up here and translating that down here instead of the 20th. And then I think what we should do is make everything be these colors. So I'm gonna need to go through and like add in the green for all of these shadows back here, and then on the other side add in new shadows for this kind of darker color right there, and just do that for the whole logo. So the first step is going to be getting rid of the 20 up here and adding in the 7-Up to the top. And then first what I need to do is recreate the kind of white rectangles for that shadow effect for 7-Up. And then still using the pen tool, now we need to go ahead and start creating that colorful shadow effect. All right, now that we've got all the light green in there, we're gonna go ahead and do the dark green wherever there is shadow. All right, here's how that's looking. Now the final step is just gonna be to change the background color to this green, and here is the final result.
Honestly, I'm shocked at how well these two work together because they do kind of have similar shapes and that kind of shadow effect going on. I really like adding some color into this 20th century black and white version of their logo. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, we're gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Firefox plus Google Chrome. Okay, some rivals going on here.
All right, so these ones do have a very similar shape already, with a kind of circle in the middle and then this kind of swoopiness going around outside of it. We definitely have to keep the fox, excuse me, and I think this center circle right here, I want this going around the edge to include a gradient very similar to this one. So the first thing I'm gonna do is see if I can make that inner purple circle look a little more blue to match the chrome blue. Now I have the tail selected, and I'm gonna go ahead and just delete that. Now I'm gonna move the Chrome logo into place, but I don't really love that it's the red and the yellow behind it, so I might transform it so that it's more showing the green and I guess the green and the red. Make these have gradients in them just to kind of match along with how the Firefox one looks. Lastly, I'm gonna add in a white circle around it just to give the appearance of a stroke, and here is the final result.
This one looks pretty much exactly how I anticipated it looking in my head. You know, when I think of apps, normally I think of kind of like a square with rounded edges, but both of these happen to be circles, so they fit pretty perfectly together. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Penguin Books plus Android. Okay, let's go.
All right, basically what I'm thinking is we make some kind of robot penguin. So I'm thinking we take some elements from the penguin, such as the wing shapes and the little facial expression of it looking up and the eyeball and the feet, but we translate that into the Android robot and then probably put the whole thing on this orange background. To start, I'm going to go ahead and take away his eyeballs as well as move this antenna to the other side so it looks like he is looking upwards. I'm going to use the pen tool to draw in the beak and kind of like the size of how it would be if it was on the Android robot. And I'm going to take the eye and that little white part from the penguin and put it on the Android logo. Next, I'm going to erase the legs, elongate this part, and draw in some penguin feet. Lastly, I want to take the belly from the penguin and put it on the robot. Make the wings look a little bit more like they're flapping. And finally put it on that orange background. And here is the final result.
Honestly, this one turned out exactly how I pictured it in my head. I love that it is just a little penguin robot, and that is one of the most adorable things I could ever think of. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever logos this filter lands on, we're gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Nickelodeon plus Starbucks. Okay, let's see how this goes.
Okay, so basically what I'm thinking for this one is somehow we can stretch the Starbucks girl to fit in this weird blob shape. And then I kind of want to go over it with my pen tool in Procreate to really give it this kind of loose blobby effect. And then we can change the whole name to Starlodian, maybe making that in green and the girl in orange. So the first thing I want to do is just worry about stretching this and making it look almost like that initial Nickelodeon shape. So I've got my shape down, and I'm going to use that as a reference to start bringing in all the different orange pieces into this, and then eventually getting it in that kind of more free-form style. Okay, I love how that looks. Now time to bring it into Photoshop. Okay, here it is. Now I want to make the word Nickelodeon be green as well as that outline. Then we're going to erase the word Nick, replace it with star, and here's the final result.
Honestly, I love how this one turned out. I didn't know if the little gooey, drippy Starbucks lady would work out, but I think it actually turned out really cool. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, we're gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Pringles plus Hello Kitty. Okay, let's go.
Okay, basically what I'm thinking is we do the style from the Hello Kitty logo, but put it onto the Pringles man's head. So we do this thick outline. Definitely gotta add the bow and the whiskers and the nose in there. And then I guess we'll just make it say Hello Pringles. Maybe the hello will go up here somewhere. So in order to achieve this, I'm thinking I'm gonna select all of these different parts from the Pringles guy, flip Hello Kitty so the bow's on the right side, and then delete the eyes and move it into place.
Now we need to make sure everything is in place.
So like making the mustache and the eyes a bit different shapes and smaller just to all fit within there. I'm gonna bring the eyes down and the eyebrows up and over. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab the word hello from the original logo. And originally I was thinking up here, but I'm actually thinking maybe we put it down here and try to rearrange all this just a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera, and here is the final result.
I'm actually surprised I've never done this one before because these two logos just look so similar yet so different. I love, love, love how this turned out, and I think it's something pretty silly, but also works really well together. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, we're gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Twitter plus Adidas. Okay.
Okay, so weirdly, these have kind of similar shapes with it getting bigger over here and then tapering down to a small almost tail down here. So what I'm thinking we do is we take the Twitter bird's head and put it on top of the Adidas logo right here. Similar things, put the wing right there and the tail right there. And then we're gonna have to figure out how to resize all that and what color we want it to be. I'm thinking maybe we make the whole thing blue, but also it could be good to combine it and make like blue, black, blue. So we'll see. So first step is gonna be to put the Twitter bird's head over top of Adidas and then cut out the part that we don't need. So I got that lined up and I went ahead and made the Adidas part blue, and I'm gonna do the same thing with lining up the wings here. And I've got the back part lined up, so I'm just gonna delete this and turn that blue as well. I am liking how that's looking, but I do think I want to go ahead and make this middle bar black. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And here is the final result.
Honestly, this one is definitely one of the more simple ones, but I do think that the shapes from both of these logos really worked perfectly together when I was mashing it up. Not too sold on the black bar in the middle, but I don't know. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, we're gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have 7-Eleven plus Lego. Okay,
so basically what I'm thinking for this one is we call it 7-A-Lego. We make the 7-Eleven logo kind of look in the style of the Lego logo. So that means putting in this kind of black border to the green part right here, putting a black border around everything else, and then making the 11 part be in this Lego colors and font. So the first step is going to be isolating each of the different parts so that I can add a stroke to each of them. And separately, we need to make this say a Lego. So I'm gonna grab the E and duplicate it. And then we need to recreate these strokes by adding to the one that we just created. Last step is gonna be to bring a Lego into there, and here's the final result.
Honestly, this one turned out exactly how I pictured it in my head. It's basically just a little bit more playful than the original 7-Eleven logo in that Lego style, but I'm really happy with this one. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Instagram plus MasterCard. Okay,
basically what I'm thinking is we make the Instagram logo be a circle, including this inner ring, and then we change the colors of the gradient to be more red, more yellow, and then obviously the orange in the middle. And then I want to change this to say Mastergram. So the first step is going to be to make the Instagram logo into a circle. And now I need to add a white ring around it. Okay, so I went ahead and duplicated that and put it down here. And now I'm going to try to change the hue of this one so that it looks a little more red. Now I need to make the left side look a little more red, the right side look a little more yellow, and the inside look a little more orange. Lastly, I'm going to bring in the word gram from the Instagram font, and here is the final result.
Honestly, it's always up in the air on what it's going to look like when I change the Instagram logo color, but I think this one really lends itself with the red and the yellow. Let me know what you think about this mashup in the comments. Whichever logos this filter lands on, I'm going to mash them together. Okay, up first we have Twitter plus Ferrari. Okay, let's go.
So I'm thinking what we do is put basically the Twitter bird's head and wings on the Ferrari horse. And then, I don't know, I want to rename it something for Witter. I don't know, we'll come up with something. So first I want to make the horse blue and try to place the Twitter logo on it so it kind of lines up. Okay, this is looking so silly. Now I do want to go ahead and add in some of those details, just similar to how it already was on the Ferrari logo. Okay, I think I am gonna go with Fritter. So we're gonna need to take out all of these letters. So it has almost every letter that I need, but I'm gonna take the I and just duplicate it and make it look like a T. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that again, and here is the final result.
This one is so silly, but I do think I got the style of the Ferrari horse down with the mashup of the bird. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Google plus Lego. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so I'm thinking we have to call this one Googo. And basically all I really want to do is take the colors of the Google logo, but put them in the Lego font and then still put this red border around the whole thing. So the first thing I need to do is separate out the G and the O from the Lego logo. And then just duplicate that and add another O so it says Googo. Now that I have all that, I need to change all of the letters to be the same color as the Google logo and add on the same black and yellow stroke to it. Finally, I need to place it in the red box, and here is the final result.
Honestly, the name of this one is just so silly, and I love whenever I can put the classic Google logo with its kind of boring font into something more fun. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, we're gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Starbucks plus Foot Locker. Okay, let's go.
Okay, basically what I'm thinking is we take this guy and put him on the Starbucks girls, and then I think I want to call it Starbucker. All right, so let's bring the Foot Locker guy into position, color him all in green, and then I need to start shaving off parts of him to give him our Starbucks girls physique. Now we need to draw over her complete face and put his head on it. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit so it looks more like the hair is like integrated into his hair. Okay, and I think that's what we're gonna go with for the icon part. All right, and lastly, I do wanna use the color of the Foot Locker logo, but make this part say Starbucker. So I'm gonna change it to be that color, and here is the final result.
This one turned out about exactly how I pictured it in my head. The Foot Locker guy with the body of the Starbucks girl just looks so silly. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Google plus Chanel. Okay, my wheels are turning.
Okay, so what I'm actually thinking is bringing in this Google logo because it kind of looks like these C's, and putting it over top of each other and flipping so it matches that. And then I want to name it Choogle and make it be in the Google font and colors, but add in the Chanel C to the beginning. So the first step is going to be making the G be the same size as the Chanel letters and flipping that horizontally. Okay, move that into place, and why does this actually look like a super cool logo? Next, I'm going to grab the C from Chanel. Now time to bring in the Google and add an H, and here is the final result.
I think picking the just G Google logo for this fits perfectly, and the name is so weird and funny. Let me know what you think about this mashup in the comments. I'm gonna go ask my husband to pick out two logos, and whatever he says, we're gonna mash them together. Hey, can you give me two logos?
Lacoste
Oh, okay.
and NASA.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so this alligator's tail very similarly matches this little swoosh right here. I don't know, that might be a huge gator, but maybe I'll just extend the tail and put the gator underneath the word. I definitely want to call it Lacoste, and then I feel like we kind of have to put a space helmet on the alligator. So first I'm gonna remove all the letters from NASA. I isolated the gator and I'm gonna move it into place. And I'm thinking I might just turn it all red. And using the pen tool, I'm gonna attempt to make the tail and this kind of shape connect. Okay, here's what we're working with. Now I need to make it look like the ring is kind of going around it. Type out Lacoste. Lastly, I'm gonna try to create some kind of space helmet for him, and here's the final result. Okay, let's go see what Travis thinks.
Space Gator! Why does it say Lacoste? Oh, like,
Lacoste and NASA?
I forgot it was a mashup.
Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Pizza Hut plus IHOP. Okay.
Alrighty, so I think we have to call it Pizza Hop, and what I'm gonna try to do is change all of the font to be this color and then make the hop letters fit perfectly in underneath the Z's and within the hut. And then I definitely wanna make these two reds the exact color. So the first step is gonna be to remove the word hut and also remove the I from IHOP. I'm gonna move it into position, but I wanna make the O and the P fit just a little bit better within the logo. I wanna make these two reds be identical. Okay, you really can't see that much of a difference, but I just like knowing that they're the same. Lastly, I'm gonna make the word pizza be in this blue, and here's the final result.
Honestly, this one is pretty simple, but I think the overall final piece looks pretty cute. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, we're gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Snapchat plus Starbucks. Okay, let's go.
Okay, basically what I'm thinking is take the inner part of the ghost and just kind of put it down here where the Starbucks girl is, leaving her crown and her tail and her arms, but then putting her face on to the ghost's face. All right, so my first step is gonna be just to erase everything in the Starbucks logo that we don't want to keep. All right, here's how that's looking. Now I'm gonna just select the ghost and mask him out and bring that right on to the Starbucks logo. I'm realizing her face is the same color as the ghost, so I'm actually going to invert it and make it the color of the green. Whoa. I also want to erase the Starbucks girl's arms. Lastly, I'm going to erase everything from underneath the ghost, and here is the final result.
Honestly, this one looks so weird, but I love how the two fit together perfectly. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Google plus Oreo. Okay, I see the vision. Let's go.
Okay, so my initial thought with this one is to take this G and O and make it say Goorio. And then I want to make it be in the exact style of the Oreo logo, but all the letters be the colors of Google. My first step is going to be duplicating this O. Then I need to find a G that kind of matches that vibe and resize it so that it looks good with the rest of the logo. Okay, I brought it into Procreate, and now I'm just gonna add on all of those shadow colors that each of these has. Now I just need to add on this blue outline. Then I need to add on the light blue outline around the whole thing. Now all I have to do is make all of the colors match up with the ones on the Google logo, and here is the final result.
This one came out pretty much exactly how I envisioned it in my head. I don't think it sounds very appetizing or like a good website, so the name maybe isn't the best, but I think it turned out really well. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I am going to mash them together. Okay, up first we have Pringles plus Lego. Okay, let's go. Okay, basically what I'm thinking is we call it Pringos, and we make it be in the font style of the Lego logo, but stretch this out so it's almost similar to this red shape, and then make the Pringles guy into a square. Okay, I found a similar font, so now I'm gonna type out Pringos. I'm gonna go ahead and give it that look that the logo on the Lego has, and make a red rectangle behind it. Now I'm gonna make a white square slash rectangle about the size of the Pringles guy. And now I'm just gonna select all the assets from the Pringles man and move them into the box. And here is the final result. I just love this little square Pringles dude so much. And it turned out pretty much exactly what I was thinking it would in my head. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Hello Kitty plus, ooh, the Crocs logo. Okay. Okay, so my thought on it is basically just to trace around the Crocs logo in this kind of thick, bold line, and then give him whiskers, a little nose, and a little bow. So I'm gonna down the opacity on it, so then when I'm drawing my line, you can see it a little more. And I'm just gonna trace completely around him. I'm trying to do my best to make it a little more cartoony as well as I go. Okay, now that I've got that drawn, I'm gonna add those beady black eyes from Hello Kitty and the little yellow nose. Next, I'm gonna add those whiskers. And finally, I need to draw on the bow, and here is the final result. I don't know how this one could have possibly turned out any different in my head, but it looks so adorable and funny. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Target plus, ooh, the Olympics logo. Okay, I think I know what we have to do for this one.
So my thought is basically just to make each of these circles be the same size and have the dot in the middle like the Target logo, but make it all the colors of the Olympics logo. Okay, so I'm gonna start by resizing them to be the exact size of each of these circles. And now I just need to make each of them the exact color of the Olympic rings. If you'll notice on these, they're all interlocking. So I might have to make them be a little bit more squished together so that I can get that interlocking look. Okay, I got them all closer, so now I can just select each individual one and just paint over it, and then it should give it that interlocking look like that. So I'm gonna do that with all of them, and here is the final result.
This one's kind of simple. It just kind of looks like the Target logo duplicated all over the place, but something about it I like. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Lay's plus, ooh, NASA. Okay, let's go. These shapes go really well together, so I'm thinking what we do is the blue will go behind this kind of Lay's red swoosh, which kind of matches the NASA one. And then I want to call it NASA and, wait, Lesa?
I want to call it Lesa and do it in the NASA font and then add in all these star elements to the back. So the first step is just going to be to get rid of all of the letters. And then I'm going to bring the NASA logo up and put it behind it. I found the NASA font and I'm just going to type out Lesa. I don't like that the little loopy is hidden back there. So I think I'm going to put it to the top and select it. So I'm just gonna resize it, and here is the final result.
I think this one turned out so funny. The shapes work so well together, and the fact that they both have this red line through it. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Disney plus, ooh, Skyline chili, a family favorite. Okay, let's go.
So if you don't know what Skyline is, it's like a chili place in the Midwest my family loves. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is take the castle back here and kind of put it behind the Skyline logo and then change this to say Skyline Disney. So the first thing I'm gonna do is select this whole logo and this outline around the logo. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the Disney castle. And I'm gonna move that into place behind the Skyline logo. Let's resize it a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and color the entire castle that Skyline blue. Lastly, I'm gonna delete all of the word chili. And I'm gonna make it say Disney, and here is the final result.
This one does not really look that different than the Skyline logo, and I think if you were to just glance at it, you wouldn't even know. But I think it turned out really cute. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have John Deere plus Twitter. Okay, I already have the vision. Let's go.
Okay, this one's gonna be pretty self-explanatory. Basically what I wanna do is take the Twitter bird and flip it and turn it yellow and put it in here where this deer is. But I also think I wanna give it some of the deer elements like the antlers. So the first step is just gonna be to remove the deer completely from the John Deere logo. And I'm gonna fill in the Twitter bird yellow. Then I'm going to go ahead and rotate it, flip it, and resize it so that it fits better within the box. Then the final step is gonna be just to take just the antler from the deer, place it on the bird, and here is the final result.
This turned out pretty much exactly how I thought it would. I feel like the antlers on top of the Twitter bird is giving a jackalope or like one of those made up animals in the desert, but I think it turned out really cute. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have PlayStation plus FedEx. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we do the font from FedEx, but in the style and colors of the PlayStation logo. So for instance, taking the F and making it big and red, and then maybe taking the X so we can keep the arrow in there and turning it and making it the same colors as the S. So the first step is gonna be just to take out the F, and I'm gonna fill it in red. The PlayStation logo is a little skewed, so I'm gonna do the same thing for the F. Then I'm gonna grab the E and the X from the FedEx logo, and basically do the same thing for that one. So here's what that looks like. I've selected the E and the X, and now I just need to make it the same colors as the PlayStation logo, and here is the final result. I think honestly this looks really cute. I love this PlayStation logo to begin with, and it's always fun for me to see what it might look like with other logos. I think I've done the Xbox one in the past. Let me know what you think about this FedEx one though in the comments. I recently mashed together the Pringles and the Lego logo, and this is the design I came up with, but a lot of you in the comments were suggesting that I should have used an actual Lego minifig head for the Pringles guy. So today, let's redesign my redesign.
So first I need to find an image of a Lego head and bring that into my original design, and I'm gonna remove all of the features. I'm gonna angle it like the original logo, and I'm gonna grab all the features from the original Pringles logo, and finally mask them all out, and here is the final result.
I think this turned out so cute and definitely looks way more like it fits into the Lego universe. Let me know what you think about this redesign in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Tide plus Pepsi. Okay, two circles. Let's go.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is we make it say Tide C, and we make it kind of be in this font overlaid on top of this logo. And then for each of the little rings, I think I'm just gonna duplicate that here and cut out the middle where the white is. So the first step is gonna be just to duplicate each of these rings. Okay, here's that with none of the logo on it. Now I wanna make each of these rings be blue and then red and then blue. Okay, so I've got my two halves right here, and now I just wanna go ahead and select the inner part of the Pepsi logo and subtract it from this. Here's what that looks like. I found the font, it's called Compacta, and I'm gonna type out C. Now I just need to mask that out. Lastly, I just had to put it all together, and here's the final result.
Honestly, this one looks pretty cool. I was not sure exactly how it would look with the red and the white and all the different color combos, but I'm happy about it. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Instagram plus Microsoft. Okay, let's go.
Okay, basically what I'm thinking is removing all of these parts of the Instagram logo and taking this square and making one of each color, and then going back and taking the white parts of this one and putting it in the middle of all four squares. So first I need to go ahead and remove all of the white parts, and we get something like this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and resize it and get one in each of these squares. This is what I've got. It is very trippy. Now I'm gonna go through and put a color over top of each one of them, and it looks like this. And then if I take the blending mode and set it to hue, we have this. Now I'm gonna select all of the white part of the Instagram logo and mask it out. And then we should be able to just move it in front of this. And here is the final result. Why does it kind of look like a Pokemon gym badge?
Honestly, the vision came fully together like I thought it would, but I'm still not too sold on this as a logo as a whole. But let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, we're gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Red Bull plus Crocs. Okay, I think we know what we have to do.
Well, I'm just gonna take the Crocs head and kind of put it up here where these bulls are, and then draw out a crocodile body instead of the bull. So I'm gonna rescale the croc just so we can get a little bit of an idea of where the head's gonna go. And I'm gonna go over the general shape of the logo with that red, wrapping with the tail kind of like whipping around, something like that. And I wanna add a bunch of like spikes. Now for the legs, I kind of do want to mimic the bull and make it look like they're kind of like running. Now I need to go through with the yellow and add in all the little details. The original croc logo is kind of happy, but I definitely want to make this one like a raging crocodile. So I've got the one in there, now I'm gonna add the other, and here is the final result.
This one is one of those ones that's just really fun to make, and I love the final result. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have BP plus BMW. Okay, let's go. Okay, my idea for this one is to call it BPW. And then somehow I'm gonna take this shape here and put it in this circle and then make it be blue and white. So the first step is gonna be to remove this M. And apparently this font is just Helvetica, so I'm gonna type out a P. Now I'm gonna move the BP logo into the middle. And basically I need to color each side blue. So I'm gonna make these boxes, and then eventually we can get them down to the right size. So this is what I have, but if I change the blending mode to be hue, it should look perfect. Last step is, instead of the circle around it, I wanna make it look like almost the flower. So I'm gonna figure out how to do that, and here is the final result. This one is one of those ones that's just kind of funny at the end of it all. It doesn't necessarily look like an amazing logo, but my vision came through. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, we're gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have NBC plus Nike. All right, let's go.
All right, so I'm thinking this is gonna be pretty simple. What I wanna do is take this exact shape and just put it in the place of each one of these little guys. Add in this little beak once I get all of those. Okay, so now I need to go ahead and make multiple different copies of the Nike logo and just place them around. Okay, this is what it's looking like. Now for each of these, I need to go ahead and add a color overlay in the exact colors from the NBC logo. Now the last thing I need to do is just duplicate this little tiny peacock beak, place it onto the other one, and here is the final result.
Again, with this one, I don't know where I could have gone wrong. The two just fit so perfectly together, but it did come out exactly how I envisioned it. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Netflix plus Kit Kat. Okay, basically what I'm thinking for this one is making it say Kit Flicks and kind of keeping it within the similar style as this original Kit Kat logo. But I think what could be cool is if the whole background was like, hold on, these stripes from the Netflix original intro. So the first thing I want to do is just erase anything from here over. And then since this is kind of like a font that's clearly created just for this logo, I'm gonna go ahead and try to recreate it, do a color overlay with the brighter red. All right, the last step is gonna be to bring in all of the colors from the Netflix intro. So I'm gonna resize that, cut out the oval, and here's the final result. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Apple plus Tide. Okay, let's go. Okay, so basically what I'm thinking is recreating the Apple logo multiple times and coloring it in with these colors. And then I want to use the Tide font, but call it Tapple. So the first step is going to be coloring the apple in different colors. So I'm going to do a color overlay and make it be yellow. Then I duplicated it. I'm going to do the same thing with an orange one. Okay, I did that one more time. Now I'm going to do basically the exact same thing, but to the little leaf. Now from the Tide logo, I'm gonna steal the T and I'm gonna move it up onto the apple. And I found out the Tide font is called Compacta, so I'm gonna type out Tapple. It's not going at the right angle, so I'm gonna make it go up and then skew it this way a little bit more. And then finally, I just need to go ahead and add on that white stroke to it, and here is the final result. I love when I can add color to the Apple logo. It reminds me of the very old, almost rainbow logo that they used to have. This one turned out really cool to me. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Wikipedia plus Pepsi. Okay, similar shapes. Let's go. Okay, so basically what I'm thinking is we need to take the colors from Pepsi and put it on the Wikipedia logo. I definitely want to add this black ring around this one as well, and I'm going to call it Whipsy. So I've got the Wikipedia logo. Now I want to add on a black stroke about the size of the Pepsi logo. Next, I'm going to resize the Pepsi logo so that it's just the same size as the one we're working with, and select the red and blue and then mask them out. Then I'm gonna adjust the layer style until we get something that works. That is looking so good. Now I'm gonna go back in and select all of the letters from Pepsi, mask those out, and then go ahead and erase the P and the E. I'm gonna duplicate the I and bring that over. Finally, I need to find the perfect W font. Select just this part right here, mask it out, and here's the final result. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna really care for this one, but it turned out so fun, and that little tiny puzzle piece cut out at the end really makes it all come together. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have BMW plus Red Bull. Okay, let's go. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we call it Bull MW, and then I'm gonna put this little symbol right here. And then instead of these bulls right here, I wanna make them be two BMWs heading toward each other. So I'm thinking I wanna use this car because it kind of has a similar shape to the bulls. So I'm really gonna have to just outline this and try to just get in as many details as I can so it still looks like the car, but also looks like it's in the same outline style. Okay, here's what I have. Now I need to color it in with the same red, resize it and place it and duplicate it and move it to the other side. Then I'm gonna recolor in the BMW logo to be that yellow and resize and place it where the other one is. I'm gonna take the word bull, type out MW, and here's the final result. I love my little illustration I did for this. I think the two cars coming together looks so cool in this style. Let me know what you think about it all in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Monster plus McDonald's. Okay, two M's, let's do it.
Okay, I think it's pretty obvious what we have to do here. I think I'm going to trace the McDonald's M, but in this kind of jaggedy style of the Monster logo. And then I'm gonna add some shadows in here to kind of mimic the shadows in here. I wanted to say McMonster, I guess, and make sure to include that little O in there. So the first step is just gonna be to go ahead and give the McDonald's M those squiggly, drippy, claw marky effects. Okay, here's how that's looking. Now I'm gonna color it in yellow, and then how each of these has kind of like a little shadow on the side. I'm gonna take that same yellow, deepen it a little bit, and then start adding it in to each of the sides. That is looking really cool, and I'm gonna go ahead and add the red background back to it. And where it says McDonald's, I'm gonna draw it in the kind of monster font that they have going on. Last thing I need to do is make space for the logo, and here is the final result.
Honestly, this came out exactly how I pictured it in my head. I love the McDonald's logo in this, I don't know, grungy style. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Whichever two logos this filter lands on, I'm gonna mash them together. Okay, up first we have Chevron plus Microsoft. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so basically what I'm thinking is making these be the same color, so like blue and blue, and then duplicating that and putting it in each one of these squares and making them be the different color of each of the Microsoft logo. And then I want to make this say Chevrosoft. So the first step is going to be duplicating this blue and then moving it down instead of the red. Now I'm going to resize that and duplicate it 4 times. Now I'm gonna go ahead and select each one and adjust the hue and saturation so that we have a kind of decent match to each of the colors. Now that we have that, I wanna take just the first part of Chevron, type out Chevrosoft in that font, and here is the final result.
Honestly, this one turned out so cute. I love whenever I get the Microsoft logo and I can just change the different colors of each logo. But something about this with the Chevrosoft at the top, I don't know, it really brings it all together. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments.